What is up, everyone? Welcome to the first Fantasy Friday. As you can see, I am wearing my Aaron Rodgers jersey because, in the words of Stephen A. Smith, Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. And I think that. I think he's one of the greatest players that have ever lived. I'm not going to take any thunder away from Tom Brady or Joe Montana or some of the other greats, but you have to give respect where respect is due. But anyways, let's jump into today's Fantasy Friday. What I want to talk about today in this video is some of the things that are coming up. One, the Fantasy Football series I'm going to be doing. Two, the Fantasy Fridays that are coming up. We're going to be going over potential pickups, drops, waiver wires, who you should start, who you should sit, look at matchups, things like that. And last of all, what I want to talk about today is getting ready for the fantasy football season. Now, some of you may have leagues that you're already in, but I will be creating 2 leagues of my own. They will be on NFL.com. One of them will be a standard scoring league. The other one will be a PPR league. Now, if you don't know what any of this means and you're really interested in fantasy football, go look for my video series that I'm going to be putting out. I'm going to be working on it extensively. It may not be up right away, but I am trying to get it done probably by the middle of August, because about the end of August is when the draft for my fantasy leagues will happen and a lot of other leagues. The reason being is because you don't want to draft too early, because then you got preseason, and if somebody gets hurt in preseason, sometimes they're out for the season. They tear an ACL, or they rip an elbow, or something happens to where they're out for at least 6 to 8 weeks, maybe the entire season. Sometimes you've got suspensions. Last year we dealt with the Ezekiel Elliott suspension, the Tom Brady suspensions. There was all kinds of suspensions going on. Plus you have the other players that get dinged for the PEDs, which is performance enhancement drugs for you people that don't know. But they get pinged with those. They get usually about a 2 to 3 week ban sometimes, or suspension. So we're going to be looking into those guys. We're going to be showing you draft orders. Obviously, if you're in a league where you get to pick your draft order, you're obviously going to want to pick number 1. If you don't get number 1, then it's actually a crapshoot from there, because it really comes down to who is in your league and who do you know drafts which players. Is there a guy who loves Dak Prescott and he's going to take him round 1? Who knows? You never know what's going to happen, because people can make some pretty weird decisions. So I'm going to be posting in the description below the links and the password to the NFL.com ones. I'm going to be showing, next to it's going to say standard or PPR, that way you sign up for the right one. Please, if you sign up for one, try not to sign up for the other one, unless it starts to get closer to the date and there's still a spot or 2 open, because we kind of want to, standard is kind of like the beginner league, and PPR is more kind of the advanced league. So if you really love PPR and you really know what it is, join that. Leave the standard one for the newbies or people who are just not into PPR. That way we can get a lot of people in who want to play. And if it gets really, really full, if one of them fills up really, really quickly, I may make a 3rd one of that same one. So say PPR just blows up and it fills up, then I'll make a 2nd one. But right now I think I'm just going to work on 2 and see where that goes. And like I said, maybe, not going to guarantee it, but maybe if somebody beats me in one of these leagues, maybe I'll give them a prize. So, but I'm looking forward to doing this video series that's coming up. Some of the things I'm going to be touching on is when you should be drafting your quarterback, who you should be looking at as far as receivers, running backs, based on if it's PPR, if it's standard scoring. Does your league have special other rules in it, like maybe it has bonus points, maybe it has double quarterback, maybe it has 3 wide receivers instead of a flex, maybe your flex can also have a tight end in it, things like that. We're going to go over the nuances of drafting, how it works, what you're going to be learning from me about how to draft, where to draft, you know, the draft board setup, things like that. You know, I'm going to try to hit everything I can so that if you maybe are hosting a draft party, you know what to do. Also, if you're not hosting but you're going to one or you're going to be online, you know, just show you some little tips and tricks to help you guys out and really get out there and dominate your leagues. So this is going to be the funner side of my YouTube channel because I really love fantasy football. It's really fun, and I think if you do it with friends, you can get kind of some trash talk going. You can get some camaraderie, you know, some fun. Again, I don't know if anybody's ever watched it before, but there is a show that they did have on FX for a while. It was called The League. Super hilarious, super funny. About 30% of it dealt with actual fantasy football, but don't watch it to try to become an expert. It's not about that. It's more about comedy. But it's actually really funny. They have a lot of football players show up as cameos and special guests and stuff like that. So if you haven't watched that before, I strongly encourage you to watch it. Yes, it is, I believe, rated R, something like that. So if you are not able to watch it because of that restriction, I'm not telling you to. This is a disclaimer so that I don't get in trouble. But anyways, that's what I wanted for you guys for this Fantasy Friday. Next week we will be diving into because we will be in the second week of August, I believe. So we're getting close to preseason starting, which is kind of a teaser. It's not really that awesome to watch preseason, but it lets you get a little, you know, idea of where the players went, if they're getting some kind of rapport with their new team, you know, things like that. But most importantly, you know, we're just here to have fun. And I hope you guys join. Remember, description below will have all the information on how to get in on the fantasy football leagues. And I hope to see you guys there. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, and God bless.